It's time to now unveil the top 5 of my 2024 list. If you're watching at home, it's an annual tradition we do here on the show. I like to think I've got pretty good accuracy. Let's go through 6 through 10, which we revealed on Wednesday. Starting off with, boom, number 10, Jaleel McLaughlin out of Denver. Punter, first time a punter's ever made the list. Torrey Taylor, the Aussie for the Bears. Khalil Shakir, the new number 1 in Buffalo. Malcolm Kuntz, you've never heard of him. He's going to have 10 sacks. Put it in the books. And number 6, Deonte Banks. He is the Giants' number 1 corner. Now let's go 5 through 1. Okay. Here we go. I talked to all the coaches, all the GMs. Here's what we do. We start with number 5. Who is number 32 on the Lions? That is their starting safety, Brian Branch. 6 feet, 200 pounds, out of Alabama. Second year in the league. Brian Branch was all over the field last season, played in 15 games, had 74 tackles, 3 different interceptions. He led Detroit with 13 passes defended, and he's going to be the man calling the shots from the middle for this talented and decorated young Lions defense. You're looking for a game breaker. Brian Branch in year number 2. Remember last year, they had all those rookies. Brian Branch is going to step up, and I'm talking Pro Bowl season this year for this guy out of the safety spot. Flies all over the field. One of Nick Saban's favorite players on defense that he ever had. And now Branch is going to make Aaron Glenn's defense sing as he's the guy calling the shots from the back of the defensive backfield. Number 4, going to Tampa. Who's number 0 on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? That's Yaya Diaby. Yeah. Yaya Diaby. If you liked me yelling Puka Nakua all last season, I'm going to be saying Yaya Diaby all this season. He plays linebacker, but he could also play D-end if you need him. 6'3", 270 pounds, 25 years old, out of Louisville, friend of the show last year as he had a breakout rookie season. 3rd round pick. He had 7.5 sacks last year, okay? That led the Buccaneers. Now, what do you do this season? How do you go for that sophomore season? Here's my bold take. Yaya Diaby's going to have 15 sacks this season.
Wow, 15.
He might lead the league.
Put it in the books.
Put it in the books. Yaya. My favorite players. Kalijah Kancey, also a draft pick from last year, working the inside. Vita Vea working the inside. And, of course, I've got Yaya wearing number 0 coming on the outside. I'm loving it. Yaya Diaby is a breakout player. Number 3.
We got a Cardinals logo up here.
Who is that?
It's a Cardinals team.
We don't talk much Cardinals.
We don't.
And we don't talk much Cardinals tight ends. That is Trey McBride.
Okay.
Trey McBride, 6'4", all right. 245 pounds, entering his 3rd season. Do you know that Trey McBride last year had 81 catches on a forgettable Cardinals team?
4 wins.
That had 4 wins and didn't have Kyler for many games, and it was Josh Dobbs, and it was some other dudes. Trey McBride is now entering 3rd year of his career. Trey McBride is going to have a breakout season. You're going to see his name atop the list of targets, receptions, receiving yards. This new little Kyler Murray offense that is now really his 2nd season in this offense. Now he's finally healthy. I'm hearing things out of Arizona. He loves that Marvin Harrison. He loves him. That's been unbelievable. He likes that Michael Wilson on the outside out of Stanford. But Trey McBride might be the dude that makes these big plays. Colorado State, we love Trey McBride's story. We've heard it. And he is going to emerge in year number 3, which leads to number 2. Okay. Another guy that I've been very high on all summer long.
You love this guy.
I'm big on Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, you are.
Kyle, I'm big on Kenneth Walker. Good. I think Kenneth Walker, entering his 3rd year, is about to have a huge breakout season. We're talking workload, give me the rock, bell cow type year in Seattle. Okay, Walker, this is a dude who has had over 1,000 scrimmage yards in each of his first 2 seasons. So what is breakout if he's already done that? No, I'm talking like top of the list on all these running back lists. I go back to 2021. Mike McDonald was a defensive coordinator at some school called Michigan. The running back from Michigan State that day was Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker went for 195 and 5 touchdowns. Do you know who the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks is right now?
I do.
Mike McDonald. He was the DC of Michigan that day. He saw it up close and personal, and he knows what this guy can do. If he can stay healthy, look at those biceps. I'm in. He is a physical freak. He is a specimen, and he is going to be the workload in this Seattle offense. Before we reveal number 1, let me give a little build-up.
A preamble.
Kyler Murray's been number 1 on this list, okay? CeeDee Lamb has been number one on this list. Patrick Mahomes has been number one on this list. Mm-hmm. Number one on my list of breakout players for the 2024 season is a rookie. Mm-hmm. And he's a rookie quarterback. Mm-hmm. But he's not the one everyone might expect. Mm. The number one breakout player for 2024 will be Washington Commanders quarterback Jayden Daniels.
Let's go!
Roll the footage. This dude is made up of everything you would want in a franchise quarterback, and he is well ahead of schedule. If you want to question, like, well, you're just throwing it, I'll say, like, I love Cliff Kingsbury. He's a good friend of mine. I love Dan Quinn, pal of mine. I love everything about what I'm hearing out of Washington this summer. And it's been a quiet buzz under the halo of the Caleb talk, which is fine. There's no Hard Knocks cameras. He's only played a few games. This one I didn't like. Get out of bounds, Jayden. What are we doing running the ball like this?
Trying to make the number one on the list.
He's my number one player. I think he's going to blow people away with just how far along he already is. And look at that size. 6'4", wow. 210 pounds. He can run, but he can also throw that deep pass. The Heisman Trophy winner from last year. This is hallowed ground here. I don't take this lightly. I like to think that I speak to just about every team and talk to a lot of coaches and GMs. And if I give you that number one player, I actually am not just saying it. I believe it. I think Jayden Daniels is going to be our offensive rookie of the year, and I think he might have one of those breakthrough rookie seasons that we saw like C.J. Stroud had a year ago. Here's a look at my top 10 breakout players from the 2024 season in one list. Digest it all. Take it in. You got your fantasy drafts this weekend. Go big on all these guys if you want, if you believe me. And I think Jayden Daniels is going to shock some folks with just how far along he is as a rookie quarterback. We're talking Cam Newton breakout season as a rookie. We're talking C.J. Stroud type stuff where it's, oh my gosh, Jayden's already there. That's what I'm thinking. Akbar, we go back to you in the studio in Los Angeles. A lot of work put into this.
Yeah.
I love to surprise you guys with it. I don't think you had the list beforehand. So,
nope.
Akbar, what do you say? Especially Jayden Daniels, number one on the list.
Well, you know how much I love Jayden Daniels, so I was really, really happy to see that he made number one. I thought you was going to forget about my boy. I don't know him, but I thought you was going to forget about him. So well done. But you went deep, and you really educated me on the West African freak. Yes, Yaya Diaby. I wasn't really familiar with him, but now I was starting to look him up. I'm going, oh, I see what you're going. I see where you're going with this one. He could really elevate the Bucs defense.
I see you going with the Yaya. I'm not going to go Yaya, but I'm going to go Kenneth Walker III. And that's not only because I'm from Seattle, but mainly because of the standpoint, this dude is nasty, okay? He is shifty. He's able to catch the rock out the backfield. He's able to get downhill, make somebody miss in a phone booth, and he has a defensive head coach. And if we know anything about defensive head coaches is they value the possession of the ball, and they want to make sure that their defense is on the field the least amount as possible.
Peter, I know everyone is on the Lions bandwagon at this point. It is firmly secured that they are going to have a great season after what they did last year. But, like, Peter putting Jahmyr Gibbs on the list last year and then Brian Branch on it this year at number 5. Like, Brian Branch, Peter, I remember last year in the season opener when I think he picked off Mahomes, didn't he, in the first game of his career as a rookie?
Pick 6.
Of course you have Brian Branch on there. I like it.
First of all, a couple things. What I admire about this list is that it'd be very easy to make a list that is Marvin Harrison Jr. and Bijan Robinson. Like, people don't have Malcolm Kuntz on their breakout list. They don't have Yaya Diaby. And Peter, you mentioned how we like to kind of call out names over the year, like sing-songy, like Teleno Hufunga. Everyone on this show needs to watch the Will Ferrell movie Eurovision, in which the anthem of the whole movie is Ya-Ya Ding Dong. So every time Yaya Diaby makes a play, we're going to quote Eurovision.
Beautiful.
That's the plan. My last thing, we always end up with the tee up here for you, Peter. We like Jayden Daniels as much as anybody. Why the pick of him instead of Caleb Williams, who he was drafted behind?
Great question. It's more about what I'm feeling as far as how far along that Jayden already is in the Cliff offense. I think that he's going to be spectacular. I think both guys are going to be really successful. But just like last year where the number 2 pick was C.J. Stroud and he actually won Offensive Rookie of the Year, I think that's what we might be looking at this year with Jayden over Caleb. It's just, hey, preference. For me right now, I'm going Jayden over Caleb, but what do I know? We shall see. My top 10, one more time, if you're looking at home and you want to see it. print it out, put it on the back of your door, put it on your
Yaya.
refrigerator, and we'll check back in. Yaya!
Yaya,
Diaby!